This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Jamie Glazov Moment. Tonight, Michelle Wolf's morbid hatred. A comedian unveils the left's heart of darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have had the great pleasure and privilege of watching the White House Correspondents' Dinner last Saturday. Comedian Michelle Wolf put on quite an intriguing performance, just bullying and attacking White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders, who just sat a few feet away from her at the podium. And, you know, the left often just takes off its mask completely, because often it masquerades its hatred with frivolity or all kinds of camouflage and you know, deception. But not this time. Michelle Wolf, just pure leftist hatred, unadulterated hate, just going straight at Sarah Sanders. And, you know, traditionally, this is a night that's supposed to be about self-deprecating humor, lighthearted fun. And no, not when the left is concerned, and not when the Trump derangement syndrome has completely driven the left and leftists completely insane. I'm going to play a clip here of what happened. And it's just very interesting that also, you know, the left is trying to deny that Wolf is going at Sanders' appearance as well. She's just going at everything. But she is, because if you listen to the themes, there is an implied inference there. She's mocking Sanders' appearance subliminally through some of the themes that she's mentioning. And I couldn't help from wondering, like, you're just watching that. And apart from, you know, what came to mind while I was watching it is just a person that's possessed. And, you know, the Catholic priest comes in with the holy water and just starts sprinkling it on the possessed person. You know, you just look at Michelle Wolf and it's just this foaming at the mouth, chattering the teeth, just hatred. You know, but what's funny and bizarre is that she's mocking Sanders, including Sanders' appearance. But when you look at the split screen, when you're looking at Sarah, you see this shining beauty, this integrity, this nobility, this grace, this class. And then you look over at who's speaking and making fun of her and her appearance, and it's just, I mean, I don't even want to go there, but, you know, people, you know, as we well know when we're on the earth quite a long time, people's physical look, their disposition, often really reflects their character and who they are. And it's just so bizarre that the person that's mocking one person that's just a shining example of class and grace looks and behaves the way that she does. It's a surreal comedy.
And of course we have Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We are graced with Sarah's presence tonight. I have to say I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Mike Pence, if you haven't seen it, you would love it. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're gonna get. You know, a press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball teams. It's shirts and skins, and this time don't be such a little bitch, Jim Acosta. I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it Cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter.
Okay, for an evening that's supposed to be about humor, And for what was supposed to be some kind of a comedy act, I just didn't crack one smile or even one smirk. Daniel Greenfield in the blog The Point put it the best. He wrote about how with Stephen Colbert and these other leftist talk show hosts and these supposed comedians, how they disguise and camouflage their hatred, as I mentioned earlier, of Trump and of conservatives. And Daniel Greenfield pointed out in his blog at The Point that in this particular case, just the mask is completely off. The left is just reduced just to pure hatred. And it's hard to find the words a bit. You know, I wanted to do this Jamie Glazov moment on this. I was thinking about the Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I was thinking about all that I've read and that I've studied about the left and the earthly incarnations of that poisonous idea. This 90 seconds of Michelle Wolf capsulizes the Gulag Archipelago just in 90 seconds in terms of what the left really is. Just the left unmasked. My final thought is when I was watching this, and again I'm repeating, in terms of the beauty and the class and the grace that Sarah represents. And then you've got whatever, you know, one wants to say about Michelle, and I kind of don't want to go there, but there's something a bit bizarre about Michelle going at Sarah Sanders on the themes that she's going at her for. But I thought about this, because a lot can be said, and I'm not going to go there, in terms of physically and that voice and the tone, and it's just the lowest common denominator in terms of themes. This is just the moral sewer in terms of what she's talking about and abortion and everything that she's saying. Just the lowest class, the lowest form of any possible grace. But I couldn't help thinking of an analogy, because I kind of don't really want to go there in defense of Sarah and what could be said. Others have said it. But I'm going to use a metaphor. And what I'm about to say, I'm not speaking of Michelle Wolf. I'm just using an analogy because I thought of this. I was thinking of a crackhead, of a meth head, of a heroin addict strung out on a floor, just laying there in their own filth, strung out on meth and crack and heroin. And there's just this person on their way to work. They just had a workout at the gym, looking very healthy, looking very beautiful. They have a slight headache, and they just reach for an aspirin bottle and take an aspirin, and the meth, crack, heroin addict starts mocking the person for taking an aspirin. I'll leave it at that. Michelle Wolf's performance, the unmasking of the left, the Gulag Archipelago summarized in 90 seconds. This is what the left is about, just bullying, hatred. And by the way, this is also what leftist feminism is all about. We'll see you on the next Jamie Glazov moment. Good night.